It's always been a big goal of ours to become a global creative agency, and that finally happened.
Slow down with the greatness, gotta take time, pose out on a bait thing, on a date night, they try to imitate mine, that's a hate crime, bros in a can, throwing hands, that's a cage fight.
I'm sure anyone would react the same to getting told, you know, you're going to be going to Paris to film. It's not just any football player, but a PSG football player. So Alex kind of floated the idea. I'm not going to lie, I thought he was kind of kidding. I didn't realize it was it was legit. And so it wasn't until very last minute that I actually knew I was going, and we had the flights booked, and next thing you knew, I was over in London.
Like the way that you're moving around me, I went fully lit on the day that you found me. I know you see the killers and dealers around me, but I grew up with gorillas, you know how the West be.
So we've been crushing hard on this song, and there's this song by K-Tronada called Pressure, and it goes hard. And Brock earlier was like, oh, imagine if you had like some lyrics on that shit. We just found this guy. He raps on this shit. So we're gonna film him singing in some studio in London to be like the underlay of our showreel. That'll be so high.
Now for a little prayer on the street, boy, they beat the size fine nigga need, catch another with the pressure in his time.
So Alex at Pixel Factory hit me up on Instagram actually last week.
Hey, kind of reaching out on a bit of a random one.
You know me, I love to shoot, so I said of course, and here we are.
That was a crazy moment to just like touch down in London, and then the next day I'm shooting a music video in front of the London Eye.
We had a really cool opportunity to shoot with a massive client, and the brief was that we had to go into the middle of nowhere, 200 kilometres away from the nearest town in rural Queensland. We flew into Rockhampton and then spent that whole afternoon driving to this homestead, which was in the middle of nowhere.
When you start to work with clients that are bigger, they have a lot of people involved already. So these guys already had an agency they were working with. We were brought in to add a bit more creative flair to their content. Essentially on the day they got priority to shoot, and then we were kind of allowed in between that to get the content we wanted to get.
Initially I thought we were going to cover the whole day. In the end we probably had access to the family that we were covering for about an hour, maybe max. Yeah. It was a really great chance to prove ourselves. So with more limited resources and with limited time.
We were obviously still able to do what we do best. Create under pressure and execute great, I guess. I think, yeah.
And then the rest of it was just taking so many photos of cows.
Which were pretty sick.
Good photos of cows, yeah. But they are still just
cows.
Just photos of cows.
Managed to tee up a shoot with Naomi, who is a sprinter.
There were those who didn't run. There were those who couldn't take it.
We went back and forth over Instagram. The next thing you know, we had to plan this shoot in around these streets of Paris with this incredible track that had the Eiffel Tower in the background. I felt like a little kid in the candy store, honestly, running around this track with the Eiffel Tower behind me. It was incredible. You know, stuff like that's super important because as we want to grow and build and expand globally, we have to present work that is on an international level. It's not just about getting shots with the London Eye in the background or the Eiffel Tower, but being able to collaborate with people from around the globe. And it was just a super cool opportunity to make the most of the time we had over there. We were working with Aiper, and they had a collab with a PSG defender, Hernandez.
Mira qué pescador. Fashion.
That was probably one of our biggest projects to date. We knew we had to be smart with how we went about the Aiper shoot. We had limited resources, we had limited time with the talent. Dan managed to pull together a really good pre-production.
We wouldn't necessarily do this for every shoot, but for this one we decided to storyboard every shot basically that we were going to capture. We organised all the shots by location and priority so that on the day, if we were running out of time for any reason, we knew exactly which shots we would have to cut, because you know exactly what you have to get. You have more space to think about, oh, we could add this shot here, or we could do this part differently.
It was really our job on the day to just execute Dan's vision. Credit to the rest of the team. We had Zach on board, who was our DOP for the day. He did such a great job. Great job, Dan. Kudos to you. Incredible storyboard.
Made my way to the top, but still